The most recent wearable pump that I've had the chance to try is the Lacevo, so let's review it. The retail value of this pump is $349, and right now in the US you can only get it from their website or at Target. Let's first talk about the design because chef's kiss. I obviously am a big fan of black, so my very first black breast pump, I'm very excited about it. Not only that, like this was very clearly designed by a mom. Inside of the case of the breast pump, you have your two pumps. At the top of the case, you can unbutton this, and you have your charging cord, some cleaning stuff, and I think these are bra extenders, which is like such a nice touch. Inside of this pouch at the top, you have some extra duck bells, which is really nice, and this is a wet dry bag. This is so amazing. After you're done using your pump, you can separate the motor from the cups, put your cups in the wet dry bag, and then either store it in the fridge if you're doing the fridge hack, or just keep them separate so your motors don't get wet. And then in your case, see this little cutout at the top, you can set your motor in there so it's still upright and not just like flopping around inside of your case. Like, how well thought out is this? Additionally, this pump comes with a flange sizing station that includes a mirror, a flange sizing tool, and then 5 different sizes of flange inserts. Every pump should come with this. As far as the pump design itself, it comes with a silicone flange. It's 100% silicone. It is 24 millimeters, so your flange inserts will just pop right inside of that. The cups hold about 6 ounces, and it does have a sensor that it will shut off so it doesn't overflow. It does connect to an app, but I've never used the app because I can't figure out how to work it, which is at no fault of the company. I just don't really need it, so I never really took the time to figure out how to work it. Like I spent 1 minute drying, and when I couldn't figure it out, I was like, forget this. Now, I will say this fit of the silicone flange, it's really snug in here. So to get it out, like you have to really pull, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, I mean, it's a secure, snug fit, but it is a little bit tight. So just something to be aware of. A unique feature of this pump is where they place the diaphragm. So the diaphragm is here on the top. Most wearable pumps, this is the Eufy, the diaphragm is here at the front, so it limits how long this flange tunnel can be. So because of where this diaphragm is, the flange tunnel is able to be a lot longer, which makes this a more viable option for women with elastic nipples. I wouldn't say this is the most quiet pump. The sound itself doesn't bother me, and usually I'm just pumping once in the morning when I'm by myself, so it's not a bother. But if you have to pump in a place that you need something quiet, this is something to be aware of. There are 4 modes on this pump. So the little water droplet with the circle around it, that's automatic mode. That one increases suction strength on its own. The one with the heart with the 2 parentheses around it, that's stimulation mode. That's to try to get you to have a letdown. It's like the faster suction cycle. There is like a half full water droplet. That is mixed stimulation / expression. That's like letdown mode followed by like a little bit of a longer pull. And then the 2 droplets, that's expression mode. I will say even on the expression mode, the suction cycle is not super long, so you're not going to get like a super long pull out of this like you might on some other pumps. As far as charge time, the motors take 2 hours to charge to full. Then the motors will last 4 to 6 sessions depending on like the settings you use and the length of time you pump. Now, output. I get consistently good output with this pump. I actually probably get the most output from this pump of all of my wearables. Why is that? I'm not exactly sure, but what I think is wearables at baseline for me feel pretty pinchy. Like I have to use them all on a pretty low setting in order for it to not feel pinchy. And I know not everyone has that experience. And yes, I am using the right flange size. But this one like feels gentle but strong enough to effectively remove milk. There are 12 levels of intensity with this pump, which is more than most. I don't utilize all 12 intensities. I don't feel like I have to, but I am able to pump comfortably with this without any pinching, and I get really good output. I've said this a million times before, but I'm gonna say it again. Wearable pump should never be your primary pump. But if you are looking for a good wearable pump, the Lacevo is a really great option. I hope that's helpful.